Thanks for tuning in to Abby Communications. Today we're being joined by Allie Brawley, Cloverland Electric Cooperative's Director of Business Development and Communications. With years of experience in communications and 3 years of experience at Cloverland Electric Cooperative, Allie Brawley is an excellent resource for communicators well into their career, as well as communicators just starting out. I hope you enjoy learning from her lessons in cooperative communications.
Well, it's really important to cross-promote because as a cooperative, our members run the full range of demographics. It's very different than a company that has maybe a specific target market and might use very specific channels to meet or to reach those markets. But with a cooperative, we have to remember that not all members have access to the internet. Not all of them have smartphones. Some of them don't use a computer. So we really use a mix of both digital media that includes all the social media channels and then print media, that's everything from our member magazine to newspaper notices and promotions. And that way we can ensure when we cross-promote the same message through all those mediums, we can meet members where they are. Well, in the electric utility industry, there are so many complexities, as are with any industry. So I kind of equate it to if I were trying to explain something in the aerospace industry, which I know nothing about, how could I break it down so it's understandable? So keeping it simple is really important. So my steps are really, number one, finding out how I can understand the issue, and then determining what a member really needs to know, what's the most important aspects of the issue, and then boiling it down to what's understandable. And then it really helps to have colleagues look over your information, make sure it's, by the time you've edited something several times, making sure that it's understandable in a way that a member will appreciate it. When faced with an extended outage situation or any crisis communications circumstance, my best advice for any communicator, whether they're new to the industry or not, is to set expectations clearly at the beginning for your members. So let them know how you're going to communicate with them and when. So in an outage situation, what we do is we always let people know when we'll have another update. And that way, if they're in a situation where the device has limited battery, they can preserve their battery and know when to check in for the next best update. And then every situation is a little different, but it's always important to let members know when they need to expect to prepare for an overnight outage, for instance. So our cutoff time is usually about 6 p.m. However, if it was an extremely cold weather situation, maybe we would do that even further in advance. So situations will vary, but it's just always important to set your expectations clearly and then be sure to deliver on time so that you build that trust with your membership. Well, I have a few. Actually, it's hard to boil it down to one. I think the first is always be open to learning, not only about the industry, but understand every role that is really vital to the cooperative. I always liken the cooperative to a restaurant because without all the pieces and parts, the chef, the dishwasher, the wait staff, the behind-the-scenes service, with all those components, the restaurant doesn't run smoothly. And it's the same with an electric cooperative. So, the line crews and other people that work in the field are visible, but behind the scenes, there are so many different people that are vital to the smooth and efficient operation of a cooperative. So I think it helps to understand every role as best you can, whether it's doing ride-alongs or just interviewing people. That's a great thing about being in communications is that we're always interviewing people and trying to understand their roles so we can let members know. So that's important. Second, just ongoing training. I don't ever feel like I'll ever be an expert on anything because there's always something new to learn. There's always so many things that are changing in the way we communicate, whether it's social media or using drones and using photography and video to tell stories. So I do think, always learning and taking advantage of training opportunities is really, really important. Find the outlets that bring you balance. And that is because in communications, especially with the onset of social media, it's 24/7 and you can burn yourself out. And so it's very important to know who you can rely on at the cooperative so that you can take a break and find your healthy outlets so that when the job does require you to be on your toes and to go for hours or sometimes days, you've hopefully found some balance through vacation time and other outlets. That's definitely very, very important in any role, but particularly in communications. I think the use of text communications and other communications with members, whether it's outage updates, I think drones are going to be used in communications to tell stories, not only in a crisis situation, but just to give an overview of the co-op's service territory and the different roles and the important roles that are all part of making the co-op run smoothly and cooperation with its mission.